Welcome to Season 1 of the CCHl This Week. The CCHl Network presents the CCHl This Week with Greg Avgeropoulos and Josh Primeau. Welcome back to the CCHl This Week. I'm your host, Greg Avgeropoulos from Trending in Sports, and this is my co-host, Nepean Raiders play-by-play broadcaster, Josh Primeau. Josh, how are we doing so far, my friend?
Doing good. Excited to be here. Exciting new show that we've got here for you, new little format. So I'm pumped to get things going here.
I'm excited as well. So let's get it started then with our first game. All right. So getting started here, we have the Brockville Braves and the Cornwall Colts. We're going all the way back to 2 weeks ago now, which was October 28th. Brockville won this game 4-1. Lucas Culhane, Thomas Haynes, Cohen, Bell Sterling, and Luke Tachor netted goals, while Sammy Molu made 33 saves as Brockville improved their season record to 5-6. Cornwall, who fell to a record of 6-5-1, had their lone goal from Tristan Miron, while Dax Easter made 22 saves in the loss. Now, moving to Ottawa versus Navan. Ottawa ended up winning this game. It was 6-1 for Ottawa. Zachary Lozier scored twice. Vincent Veloci, Massimo Gentile, and Lucas Sternsnick and Emile Villard added singles, while Rourke Appleby made 38 saves as Ottawa improved to a CCHL best 9-3-1. Navan, who fell to 7-4-2, had their lone tally from Owen Parsons, while Braden McIntosh finished with 31 saves in the losing effort. Josh, go ahead, sir, with your slate of games.
Yeah, and moving on to Friday night, and it was a busy Friday night. And the first game that we're going to be taking a look at is the game between Cornwall and Hawkesbury. It's a real exciting game. John Richer scored in regulation, as well as he took the shootout winner. Kobe Tallman also found the back of the net in that game. Cameron Hollins made 28 saves and was perfect in the shootout in his Cornwall debut. And Cornwall now improved to 7-5-1-0 on the season. Hawkesbury now falls to 7-3-1-2 and had efforts on their goals from Landon Brownlee, while Dimitri Pelikos made a big 35-save effort in the loss. As moving on now to our next game here on that busy Friday night, and this one's between Brockville and Pembroke, another exciting one. Aidan Yard, Luke Chor, and Eric Barnard scored goals, while Philip Rondina made 27 saves as Brockville improved to 6-6 on the year. Pembroke, who saw their record drop to 2-8-0-1 on the year, had a lone goal from Lucas Legault, while Ben Forget made 24 saves in the loss. And of course, we mentioned Luke Chor's name in that little highlight sequence there. He's just been absolutely on fire. As we move along here, another exciting game here as we take a look at the next game between the Navan Grads and the Smiths Falls Bears. Blake Butler, Nicholas Peone, and Callum Chow scored goals, while Diego D'Alessandro made 46 saves as Navan improved to 8-4-2-0 on the year. Smiths Falls, who fell to 8-4-0-1, had their lone goal from Seamus Stevenson, while Dawson Labre made 41 saves on the losing end of things. Big effort from Labre in that one, making 41 saves despite the loss. As we continue to move along, and a big effort on Friday in this game between Kempville and Nepean, as Ty White netted a hat trick for the Kempville 73s. Matt Thomas scored a single to add on the extra marker there for the 73s, while Jacob Biron made 24 saves in that game, improving their record to 4-6-2 on the year. And Nepean, who fell to 3-7-2 on the year, had their lone tally from Joshua Reed, who's been off to a great start, and Gage Stewart made 33 saves in the loss. And our final game then from Friday, as we move things along here, Rockland versus Renfrew, another overtime game, as this was an exciting one. as Jordan Presbill scored his first 2 career CCHL goals, including the overtime winner. Nicholas White and Charles Locas also scored, while Hayden Gould made 39 saves as Rockland improved to 7-3-1-1 on the year. Renfrew, who fell to 7-3-1-1, similar record, had goals from Kennelly, Will Ralston, and Elvis Slack, while Ressar made 29 saves in the losing effort. And so we'll actually move on to Saturday night, and it was a big game for the Junior Senators on Saturday night as they played host to the Renfrew Wolves, as Renfrew played host to the Ottawa Junior Senators. And it was Massimo Gentile who scored twice to take over the CCHL goal scoring race with 14 goals. Sebastian Uturo and Anton Sorensen added the other 2 markers for the Junior Senators, while Rourke Appleby made 36 saves as Ottawa improved to a CCHL best 10-3-1 on the year. And Renfrew in that effort fell to 7-4-1-1, had their lone goal from Joey Kennelly, while Ressar made 35 saves in this loss. And we'll pass things back on over to you, Greg.
Thank you, Josh. Great job, buddy. Now we are going to move on to Sunday, which was October 31st. The first game of 5 on this night was Kemptville versus Brockville. Kemptville ended up taking this one 3-0. And this was a very fun game if you're Kemptville, not really if you're Brockville. Nathan Merritt, Ty White, and Chase Lamy registered goals, while Jacob Biron made 35 saves for the shutout as Kemptville improved to 5-6-2-0 on the season. Brockville had a 27 save performance from Sammy Molu as they fell to 6-7-0-0 on the year. Now, moving on to Ottawa and Nepean. Another fun game here. Very low scoring, very low event, but a very good hockey game. Ottawa ended up taking this contest 2-1. Massimo Gentile and Emile Villard scored, while Connor Shibley, former Nepean Raider, made 36 saves as Ottawa improved their CCHL best record to 11-3-1-0. Nepean, who fell to 3-7-1-2, had their lone goal from Tyler Melvin, while Lucas Sandu made 31 saves in this exciting game, but loss for the Nepean Raiders. Moving on to Carleton Place and Rockland. Carleton Place ended up taking this one 6-4. Matteo DeCipio and Will Soloway scored 2 goals apiece. Luke Prodome and Gino Colangelo added singles, while Jackson Pundiak made 27 saves as Carleton Place improved to 7-5-0-0 on the year. Rockland, who had dropped to 7-4-1-1, had goals from Patrick Lantier, Jonathan Swire, Adriano, Lombardo Tulo, and Nicholas White, while Hayden Gould, made 11 saves in the loss. Now, moving to Smith Falls, they ended up winning this game 6-2. I'm not too sure what the score was for Navin. It doesn't say it here on the website. My apologies, but they ended up winning this game. Garrett Joss and Sean James tallied 2 goals each. Kai Stothers and Trevor Faucier also scored, while Will McAvoy made 33 saves as Smith Falls improved to 9-4-0-1 on the season. Navin, who fell to a record of 8-5-2-0, had goals from Blake Butler, Owen Parsons, Nicholas Pione, Joseph Ianello, and Nicholas Bennett, while Diego D'Alessandro made 18 saves on the losing side of things. And the final game from this Sunday, Pembroke and Hawkesbury. Pembroke ended up taking this one 4-3 by way of shootout. Lucas Legault, Nick Foster, Pratt Stetson scored in regulation. Colin Vilsalo netted the shootout winner, while Ben Forget made 27 saves as Pembroke improved to 3-8-0-1. Hawkesbury, who fell to 7-3-1-3, had goals from Ryan Liverman, Bradley Hornier, and Aiden Stubbings, while Deacon Randell Snow finished with 29 saves in the loss. Well, that is our little CCHL recap from 2 weeks ago now, because we missed last week and we forgot to say because unfortunately Josh had bronchitis. Now he's okay though, thankfully. Josh, how was that experience for you?
Not fun whatsoever. Yeah, I'm glad to be over that and back in the swing of things here.
Yeah, so before we get out of here, we're just going to have a quick update on the standings in the CCHL, and we have to talk about our CCHL or CCM Player of the Week. It was Jackson Pundiak. He was 1-0 He was 1-0-0. He did not lose a game. He did end up making 68 saves off of 72 shots, and he had a .944 save percentage. Josh,
Yeah,
this was a very
those
good
are
week for him. Yeah, like how did you
those
see
are
it? I mean, very good week from him.
outstanding numbers. I mean, when you're throwing up a 944 save percentage, there's not much else that you could be doing better. Very solid week from Jackson Pundick, and he just continues to improve here in the CCHL. He's been very sound and extremely well positionally, which really helps in the CCHL. And it's kind of hard, when you're facing different types of teams and you're in different ranks, and there's sometimes different angles to try and play when you're a goalie in this league. So a very solid effort from him and a great week, and well deserving of the Player of the Week.
100%. He played a great week, and I think that is now 2 straight weeks in the CCHL that goalies were the Players of the Week. So congrats to them. They're doing a great job. Their position is rising. As we know, the goalie play in the CCHL has not always been the greatest, not by any stretch of the imagination. But this year, there's been a lot of great goalie play, and he is setting an example for that. So let's move into the standings here before we get out of here. Quick little update, Smiths Falls and Ottawa Junior Senators still lead the Robinson and Yzerman division. They are both 12-4. Ottawa has 2 losses in overtime, and Smiths Falls has 1 in the shootout. Josh, what can you tell me about these 2 teams, and how do you think they match up? Because obviously they're the 2 best teams in the league, and they're just a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and they're both ranked nationally, and they're just really sound. And I think depth really comes into play here, and depth of the forward group, especially for both of these teams, where they're getting scoring from their top guys, but their third and fourth line guys are really chipping in as well, which helps. And that really takes some of the weight off the big boys. Doesn't mean it means that they don't have to produce quite as much and don't have to have the expectation that they need to come out and be the top dogs every single night if they know that the third and fourth line guys are going to be coming out there and picking up the slack. And it's not necessarily even scoring goals. Sometimes it can be having a solid offensive shift where you're wearing out some of the defenders and, having some sustained offensive zone time and keeping the puck out of your net for their shifts. So I think that's really come into to play here. And I think one thing to mention for the Ottawa Junior Senators has to be the play of Connor Shibley. And not to say that he had a bad season by any stretch last season, but it's been a significant improvement from him for his numbers last season coming into this one. And he really put in the work in the offseason, and he's come out and been a real solid leader for this Ottawa Junior Senators group. And when you have a solid guy like that, just, solidifying things for your net and for your defense and allowing your offensive players to do their thing, it really helps.
For sure. And now, once again, before we leave, we are just going to mention the lone game of the CCHL tonight is between Hawkesbury and Cornwall. Cornwall is playing host to Hawkesbury. They are both in the Yzerman division, and Hawkesbury is 8-3. Cornwall is 8-6. So that should be a fun one. Josh, thank you for joining me. This has been the CCHL this week. We'll see you next week.